So I want to, we did yesterday this page. Okay. So I want to show you something about use reference today. Okay. So let's try to learn a little bit use reference, and then we will work on this subscription again. So this subscription is not yet done. So let me first explain you the use ref in the React, and then we will go back and modify this subscription part again. Okay, so let me create another component to show you the use ref. We'll name it as example number 1.jsx. Okay, so this is my example. Now let me show you the use ref part. Okay, so let me create the routing. I'll create one more routing example. That's example number 1. Here also I'll give you 1. Okay. Okay, let's go to here. One second. Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is example 1. Let me delete this show navigation part. Okay. So right now we are trying to understand what is the meaning of use ref in React. Okay, we will be doing use ref. So let me first create one state variable. Maybe I can set name and set name. And I'll say react.use state. First I'll create one state, and then I'll create one ref, use ref. Okay. So here I'll create one input box, type equal to text, value equal to name, and on change equal to I will update the state variable here. I will say set name is equal to e.target.value, and here in the div div, your name is, I will put the name, and here I'll say name is name. And I'll also create one submit button, submit function, which will be attached to one button. And here I will, once user will click the submit button, I will say console.log, your final name is whatever name I have put it. So here I will create a button with a submit text, and here I will say on click equal to handle submit. Okay, so this is the state variable and this is the text box, and I change the text box. It will update the name here in the state and name will be updated, and when I click the button I will see the what is the final value of this name, though this name and this name will be same because it gets updated every time. So let's check this. This is my page. I'll say Jack. So you'll see name is Jack and I see the name Jack. When I click submit button, you will see your final name is Jack. When I try to change the value here in the input box A, B, C, you will see the name is changed to, we call the name every time, right? We call the name every time. Let's try to add one more. Age. Set age. Age is here, age is here. And your final age is here. Let's try to copy this again. Maybe I'll put this in the div tag. Just try to understand what I am showing you. No need to write down. So here I'll do age. Okay, we have the first one is name and second one is age. So I change the name Jack. You will see whenever I change the name, this function is again called and I'm able to see the console.log. So I'm able to see the age also. If I try to change the age also, then also this function is re-rendered again. This function is re-rendered again. Though this though this part is not refreshed, if I try to put name here, okay, so this is not refreshed, but it is re-rendered. This whole component is re-rendered. Why? Because the state value is changed. So when any state value is changed or when any props is changed, if we pass some props here, the value of that props is also changed, then this whole component will be re-rendered and we will be able to see this console.log again and again. Let's take another example. After age, I will add another one, and here I will put gender. But I will not change it. I will not change the value of gender. Even I will not put the value right now. I will create, like we have created use state, I will create one variable. Maybe I can say gender reference, or I can name it gender also. Whatever I want, I can refer it. And here I will say react.useRef. And this is a function. Initially, we have to pass the null value in it. And I will see what is the value of gender ref here. And this gender ref will be attached to this input box. We have to attach it to something. Whenever we create the reference, we have to attach it to something, or we can keep it as it is also without attaching it, and we can update the variable value with our custom coding. So right now I will say Gender ref is displayed here. So let's not attach now, but I will attach it soon. So right now, if you see, when I create the gender ref, it automatically creates a object, and object has a value key called as current. So object has a key called the current, and the value becomes a null which I give it here. Let's give the value of 1. Okay, so even if I give the value of 1, this one, right now it will not update that value unless I forcefully update it with some coding. Though I put null as a default, but we need to update it with the forceful overwriting with some value. So I created this gender ref, and it has the current as a key. So whenever I want to update the value of gender ref, I will update it like this. Gender ref dot current equal to 1, something like this. Okay, so whenever we have to update it, we have to manually update it like this. Because without current, this reference will not work properly. Now what I will do, I will attach this gender reference to this input tag which I created. And whenever I want to display something, I will display gender ref dot current. But right now I don't want to display this gender ref dot current like this, because this is tied to the input box, so it does not have any proper value. Okay, so forget about this right now. Now what I will do, I will create a ref and I will name it as gender ref. So what I'm doing, gender ref as the attached to this input box. Now here I'm seeing the null, but this text box is attached to gender ref, and if I change it, if I change the value of the name, you will see the component is re-rendered, and now I am able to see the current. Current is the input tag, and this input tag is, is tied to this input box, and I can manipulate any property of this input box using the gender ref dot current. And this is not, these all properties are something, if you remember few days back, we did the selector, select by, if I show you something, what we did few days back. So I did this project. So if you remember, we did this query selector. So once we call this query selector, whatever we were getting in the button or in the count, same thing happens here. We get all the properties of this input box, and I can change anything of this input box. So if I put some value, though it will not be visible immediately, but it is there in the gender ref. If I try to change this state variable, you will see I get the gender ref, and we can see what is the value of this age or the gender by going to the current dot let's see. Should be in the value, but it's not coming in the value. Okay. Let's try to find it. Okay, I'm not getting here. Okay, value. Okay, so it's in the value. So whenever I change it here, it is coming in the value. So we get current dot value. I get the value of that whatever user has put. Okay, so let's go again. So let me tell you what I want to explain you now. If I change the state variable, this, you will see the component is re-rendered again, and I'm able to see all the console.log. I change the age, I'm able to see the component is rendered, and I'm able to see the console.log. But when I change the reference, I don't see the component is re-rendered. And so, but it is there in the memory, but we are not able to see the re-rendering of it. So many times you want something that component should not re-render, then it is good to use the reference. Use reference. But if you want to re-render things, then use state is good. Also, whenever you want to manipulate the input box, we need to use the use reference. So these are the two cases where we want to use the use reference. So we will do little more practice on the use reference. So use reference is used when you don't want to refresh the component. So you know what happened whenever the state variable is changed, the component is re-rendered and we see the console.log, whatever is there. But with the use reference, we don't see the refresh of the component. Use reference is always used to manipulate the input box. So if you want to manipulate something, change the color of the input box, you can also have the class name dynamically, but with the use ref you can do it as in olden days. You get the DOM property and you can change it anyway. Okay, so let's take few more thing on it, and I will write down here gender. Gender is here I can say gender ref dot current dot value. So this is the where the value will be saved for the gender ref, because current is nothing but whenever we attach the input box, current give me all the properties of the input box. So whatever value of this is there, I can get it from here. If I put name or ID equal to gender, name equal to gender, we can get that property also. So if we want to know what is the ID of this input box, we can get it that also. I'll show you that also in a bit. Okay, so let me first put name Jack, age 34. Now I will put the gender as male, and when I click submit, I will be able to see the male here. And if we go to the current, we have all the properties of it. So you can see the ID also. You can get the ID gender. You can get the name also gender. So anything we want to manipulate this input box, we can manipulate it using the use ref. Now let's say if I want to, when I click the submit button, I want to focus on this part. I want to focus this part. So I can do that also. I can say gender ref dot current dot focus. When I say this focus function, so whenever you will click submit button, the focus of keyboard will go on this gender ref. If I refresh it, I will put anything now. I'll put male. Well, look here what happens when I click the submit button. When I click submit, see the focus has automatically gone to the after male. You can see I'm here. I can do any manipulation of it. I can say gender ref dot current dot style dot background is equal to blue. So we can change any CSS property also. This is the one background, but you will get all the property, CSS property in the style object. You can change any CSS also with the use ref. So you see it got changed to blue background. I can say the color should be white. Okay, so text color will become white and background will become blue. So any properties can be changed with this use reference. So this is one of the use case of use reference. We can attach to any input tag and then we can manipulate it with this current one. It's not necessary we attach this to this one. We can have our custom use ref which we can update using the using some value in it. So for example, I can create one more use ref. I will name it as myref. Okay, and this myref. So now what I will do, I will manipulate the myref using my custom code. I will not attach to any input box. I will just try to put some value in it. So for example, I will say const handle myref. So here what I will do, I will say if I'm giving just an example. If myref dot current, if it is not there, let's say if it is not there, if no value in the current, that means if always we have to use dot current. Whenever you use ref, we have to use the dot current. So if there is no value, so initially it will be null. So whenever I call handle ref, initially it will be null. So I will say my ref dot current is equal to 0. So if nothing is there, I will put the value 0 and then I will change it to +1. Okay, I will say plus plus. So whenever I call this function, whatever value of myref will be there, it will increase to 1. Okay, so now let's call one more button to demonstrate the myref. Increase myref. Okay, so value of myref will become one more time, increase to 1. And to check the value of myref, you won't be able to see the myref unless you call this specifically to see what is the value. Or when you change the state, then also you can see the updated value of the myref. Let's try to do this. Okay, so initially myref is current null. I will increase myref. Nothing happens here because whenever you change the reference, it will not update the whole component and this will be empty. But if I change the name, you will see updated value here. So now you will see the updated value is 1. Let me try to increase multiple times. You won't see anything in the console because it does, but it does not refresh the component. Component is refreshed by state change. Or when you click the submit button, you will be able to see the updated value of myref. I can also put here myref value so that you can see what is the myref. Here I will not use value because value was attached to the input box. Here I will get direct value using myref.current. So let me refresh it. So I'll click increase myref multiple times, but it is not visible here. But when I click submit button, you will see I click 16 times. So I will click multiple times, then I click submit, I will see updated value of myref. So myref is updated whenever we do the, we call the function, but since it will not refresh the component, you won't be able to see the value. But when I click submit button, I am specifically saying to show the myref. Okay, so increasing myref. So myref is generally used when we don't want to refresh the component again and again, and we want to save the value somewhere in the myref. So there are two use cases I showed you. One is manually we are updating myref value, and another one is attaching myref to the input box, and then we can manipulate the input box or any div component using the myref. Is myref clear? That is the use ref clear? Any questions on use ref? So just remember it is called like use state only, but it is updated using the myref.current. Always it has to be used with the dot current. Whereas state variable is used as it is. No need to put the current part. And myref can be used as a single variable, myself to update it, or it is used to attach in the input box so that we can manipulate the input box. So once we attach this myref to input box, I can change any property of the input box using the that reference. So let's say I have current. I will see what is the current value in it. Okay, I'll explain this focus part again. So you will see the current is attached, gender ref is attached to the input box, and I can manipulate any of the CSS property of this input box. And one of the property of DOM manipulation is focus. Focus is not React property. It is a property of the DOM. So if we want to focus on any input tag, we can take that DOM and we can call the focus. It will focus on that one. So this is the old JavaScript property. Only thing we are getting the reference dot current, and then we are using the focus property of the gender ref. That means mouse should go there. The mouse is going there. So you can see all the properties here. Maybe we can have see on click. You can apply on click of this. What will happen? On close, on change. You can take any property of it, but on click is not used here using the reference one. But you can also create something of that. So you can manipulate any of this property. These are all the properties of the DOM. Any DOM. If I go prototype, let's see what properties we have in the prototype. We can get label, we can get form. Okay, so this is a big list of the properties which we can use. So you can go to document of any DOM document and see what things you can manipulate on HTML DOM. And one of the property is focus. Focus means my mouse should go there. And focus can be only applied to one input box. If we have 3 input box, I cannot focus to all 3 one. I can focus only on one. Okay, so this way I put the focus. But there are a lot of properties of DOM manipulation. You can use anything. I just showed 3 properties. There are thousands of properties. You can play with all the properties. Okay, so this one was the example of the use ref. Now we will see. Okay, one second. Let me open this one. Okay, now we have to see how we will use it in the master. We have to use this same thing in the master. So let's try to do that one. Second, let me open that example file. Okay, now what we will do, we are in the master file. You know, many times if you keep this subscription like this subscription will be created multiple times. Whenever we get, right now this is called only one time, but you know, many times you need to pass some parameters here, So many times this function is called, and whenever this function will be called, then subscription will be created again and again. So if you call this subscribe, and if you call this function again and again, then it will create two subscriptions. I will show you example. I will call this 2 times or 3 times. Okay, let me call this 3 times and we'll see what's happening now. So let's go to master page. Okay, I have not started the parse server, so I'm getting this one. Let's start the parse server. So what I'm doing, I'm creating this livequery 3 times. In practical world, it may automatically create it 3 times, 4 times, multiple times, 10 times. That means the subscription will be created multiple times. So whenever you create the object, this will be called multiple times, and it will break our logic. Though on the database side, it will create 1 record, but here it will show 3 times. See, 3 times we see subscription open because I call that 3 times. Now, if I add the record here, so if I add it here, and here you will see we get mango 3 times. Why? Because subscription is created 3 times. So we are seeing the mango 3 times. Though in the database it is only 1. If I refresh it, I will see only 1 time mango. But since subscription is created 3 times, so this create part is called 3 times. And then it is giving the problem. So we need to fix that. We need to make sure that only 1 subscription is created for this master page. So right now I'm going to do that part only. So pay attention how we are doing that using the use ref. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so first what I will do on this page, I will create a constant called as subscription, and this subscription I will say react.useref, and initially it will be null. Okay, so I created the subscription here. So now we have the variable subscription. Now I will attach this subscription to subscribe part. Okay, so how to do that? Just pay close attention on that one. So when I reach in the get record query, before I go further to create this line, I will do like this. Now forget about this line. What is the subscription? Subscription is this one. That is the use ref. So I will delete this part, okay? I don't want this. Right now I'll comment it. Now what I will say, if subscription exists, if subscription variable is there, and subscription.current is there, because whenever we create the use ref, we have to always work with the current. So if subscription is there and subscription.current has some value, that means subscription is already created. Okay, let's go back to this part again in couple of minutes. What I will do now, I will, instead of calling this line, I want to update this subscription part to my subscription use ref. Can anyone tell me what should I write so that this query.subscribe should not be tied to this variable, but it should tie to this variable? So what should I write here? I want to use variable use ref, that is this subscription. Okay, so I want to attach this subscribe to this use ref, not the hard-coded variable here. So I have already a variable subscription. I want to attach this to the subscription. So I'll give you two options. Maybe you're not aware of the thing, so you may be confused. So is this right to say like this, or is this right to say like this? Which one is right? 55 line number is right or 56 line number is right? Sonu Singh is saying 56. What about others? So we need to attach this query.subscribe to the subscription, and subscription is nothing but the use ref. And I want to attach this subscribe part to the subscription, that is the use ref. So Rakesh is also saying 56. The reason is, whenever you create the use ref, you should always attach to the current part. You should never attach any value directly to the subscription. So whenever we create use ref, it should be always attached to the current. It should never attach to the subscription. Is this part clear? So this is the right way. So this is the use ref only. So while creation of use ref, it should have to be created like this, and then we have to use it using this one. You cannot put inside this as await subscription. That will be not work properly. It will always put using the current. And this is not attached to input box, so we are not attaching to any input box. We are just putting a value. So this line will go away. Now since I have changed the subscription to subscription.current, now wherever I use subscription, I have to use subscription.current, because now the subscription is lying inside the subscription.current. Is this clear, this part? Why I am changing subscription to subscription.current? Why I am changing subscription to subscription.current? Because now my subscription is not inside the subscription, it is inside the subscription.current. Is this clear, this part? Okay, only Sonu Singh is saying. What others are doing? Just listening? Kind of. Okay. Okay, tell me kind of. We will go walk through again so that it will be clear for you. Now, whenever I run this record live query, I will check if subscription is there and subscription.current is there. If both are there, that means we have already created this subscription part. Okay, so we already created the subscription part if both are these present. So before creating it again, before calling this again, we need to unsubscribe it. We need to unsubscribe it. So what I will do here, I will call await subscription.current.unsubscribe. There is unsubscribe method which will unsubscribe it. So since I have subscribed it, but when I want to unsubscribe it, I will call this method. But I have to use await here so that before I go to this step, it should be already unsubscribed. So what I did here, I created a use ref. Now whenever I want to manipulate subscription, I will always use subscription.current. So what I did, I went here inside this live query. I said subscription.current is await query.subscribe, because always I have to use subscription.current. Since I have assigned the value of this subscription to current, I have to use subscription.current everywhere, because subscription is not now in the subscription variable, it is inside the subscription.current part. So everywhere I will change it to subscription.current. Now, and when I load this function, I will always check if subscription and subscription.current is there, then we have to unsubscribe it first. Then we have to subscribe it. So if I have called 3 times, it will subscribe it and then it will unsubscribe it when I call the new one. When I call the third one, it will subscribe it, unsubscribe it, and then it will subscribe it. So ultimately there will be only one subscription, even if I could call 3 times or 5 times. So let's double check it if it is working. So though it is saying 3 times, because we are calling the function 3 times, but subscription is only 1 time, we can check this by adding the record. Okay, still it is not subscribing properly. Okay, I have to debug then still, because I am getting 3 times. Okay, let me refresh it again and see again. Okay, so still we are getting 3 times. That means it has not worked properly. Let's debug it little bit more and see what we are getting. Okay. Okay, as per it, we need to unsubscribe it and then we have to subscribe it. So, but it is not working. So I need to make few more changes. That means it is still not good. We have to do some more things. Okay, let me check this one. Okay, give me a few minutes. Let me double check it why it's not working. Since it is calling 3 times, that means okay, so that means still not working. I'm trying to change the position of calling. Yeah, this will not work. Yes. Okay, so slight change in the code. Okay, so since uh, if I don't put it in the async await part like this, then what happened? Though I created this one, but then all this open on will go after some time, and I'm not able to capture that, and we are creating 3 subscription anyhow, irrespective of I put unsubscription here. So what I did, I call this get records live query in the await part. So that means when await means, that means the first part is done, then only second part will come, and then only third part will come. This way, it has only one subscription created, which is this one. Okay, so this is the side change, rest all is fine. So whenever we call the get records live query, we should always put it inside the function, and that function should have async and await. So we should call this get record live query in the async await, and then it will have only one copy of the unsubscription. So now even if I'm creating the record, though it is 3 times, I'm not getting any error, and only one record is coming here. Okay, let me go through this again, and I want to do one more change. When I do the create record, I want this to be in the before at the top. I'll put the object before the results. So if I add something, it should come at the top. Okay. So now let me walk through this again. What I did, I create a subscription using the use ref. Then I created this subscription part to subscription.current, because whenever you think that subscription has to be used only with the dot current, I cannot say subscription is equal to, because subscription is the use ref and it has to be only updated with the dot current. You cannot update it directly because subscription is the use ref. Use ref has to be updated with the dot current. So I create subscription.current with the query.subscribe, and I used all the features of the subscription using the subscription.current. And I call this get record live query in the async await, so that we should complete one async, and then we should call another one, and then we should call another one. So even if we have 3 or 5 multiple times, we are calling only the last one, and all others are invalidated. And then I check, every time I check, if subscription.current is there, that means previously I created something and I unsubscribe it. After unsubscribe, I create the subscription again using this line of statement. And then it works as usual. Okay, any problem in getting this now? Okay, maybe you write down this part, so that yesterday you finished it, just write down first this line, and then I will ask you to write down. Once you will write down, you will understand it in a better way. Just write down this line first. Now, once you're done with this one, now put this part, that is, put the get record live query inside another function. This another function should be async and await, and call that function. So maybe put 3 times get record live query. Though I will delete 2 times when it will work properly, but right now, since I want to show you multiple calls, that's why I put 3 times. Otherwise, I will put only 1 time. Are you done with this one? Okay, now add before you create the subscribe, you have to add if subscription is there and subscription current is there, then await unsubscribe, subscription.current.unsubscribe, and all subscriptions should be replaced with subscription.current. And replace all the subscription with the subscription.current. Okay, let me write down the steps for the live query. So create this as a step number 1. Create useref variable by running this command. Then create a function where you will call live query function. So it will be like this one. So it will in practical world you will call only one time. Okay. And then inside this function add unsubscription part. What is the unsubscription part? This is the unsubscription part. Okay, then post will be change all subscription term to subscription dot current inside this function. So it will be like this one. I'll just give one and rest you have to do yourself, right? So these are the changes you have to do for the subscription part. So though since this is you are doing this first time, so though it looks complicated because we have to do a lot of things, but these things are very good in the sense that you can manipulate things on your own behalf. Though it is little complex kind of thing, but it is one-time work. And once you understand it and do it multiple times, and we will be doing some 10-15 projects on this live subscription, so it will become more easy and easy once we do second time, third time, and fourth time. Okay, so first time is something, it's very new to you, so you will feel little awkward things, but after 10-15 times you will feel little better. In my practical project, I already put everything in the async and await, so I was not getting that problem. So when I was showing you, I just put it outside, so we got that problem. And then I referred my current project, which is there live. My everything was inside already inside async, so it was working fine. So I thought, why it's working in that case and here not working? So I realized that we should put it inside the async function, then only it will work. Otherwise it's not ending it and it's creating new subscription again. So we need to put it inside the async. Now I deleted 2, I kept only 1. And we put subscription. There is one more problem in this, which I will tell you. We need to do that today only because all the complex parts will be done today. And then once we do it multiple times, then it will be, you need to just copy paste the code from here. And if I don't do that one last step, then that will be missed still. Okay, so let me show you that one. So let me put one, I will show you the problem first and then we will see the output. Let's, below this master, I will give the link of add button. So generally you can give the link using the a tag, href equal to, I can say /add. I'll say add new record. I can totally use this one, a tag, but when I go to a tag, the page is refreshed. Okay, so page is refreshed. So many times single page app does not want it to refresh the page. Otherwise, everything CSS will be load again, all the JavaScript will load again. So we don't need that. To avoid the loading of the page, we use a link tag. So I will import link tag. Yeah, Rakesh is correct. From React Router DOM. So this is the tag where we don't refresh the page. It goes to another page without refreshing. Without refreshing the whole page, it only goes the part of the content is refreshed, Otherwise, everything is same. So instead of the A tag, I will use link tag, and instead of H reference, I will say to. So now what will happen when I refresh the page? When I click add new record, the URL is changed, page is changed, but it is not refreshed. Okay, so you won't see exact difference here, but if we have header and footer, we could have seen the result. So it's going to another page, but it's not refreshing it. Okay, now what will be the problem? Let's see. I'm in the master page. I went to the add record page. Okay, so I'm in new page now. Now what will I do? I will, in new tab, I have this add record page already open. I will try to put the content there. Now you will see I am on the add page. Still I get this object created because in the master page we created the subscription, and that subscription is live in the master page. Now when I open the master page, this subscription is live. It is open in the master page. And now when I go to the new page, though now I am on the add record page, but the subscription which was created in the master page is still live in this memory. So if I try to add something, you will see I get object created again here. It is thinking that I am in the master page and it tried to create this object. That I don't want. I want this subscription to be live only when I'm on the master page. Only when I'm on the master page, I want the subscription to be there. Otherwise, when I go out of the master page, I don't need this subscription open. I don't need this here subscription. I don't want to add record here on this page. I want to add record only on the subscription page. So when we go from one page to another page, I need to unsubscribe it. So this unsubscription part, which I have written here, it has to be also written when I leave this page and go to another page. So let's see how to track that one. So here I will write another use effect. And this will be called only once. So I will attach this empty array. When I say empty array, that means that this use effect is called only once. Though here also we have empty array, but as we go with pagination and all, this will grow. It will not be empty after some time. So we need some use effect which is empty always. So we will create another use effect which is empty array, so that it should be called only once. This use effect will be called only once. Okay, so now what I will do here, whenever I return a function in the use effect, so if I say return, I return a function. Whenever I return a function in the use effect, see how it is handled. Console.log returned a function in use effect. Generally, we don't return a function in use effect, but what will happen if I return a function in use effect? Let's check this part. I will refresh the page, and now I am trying to go to another page using the link. So when I go to add record, you will see it is saying return a function in use effect. So that means whenever I return a function in the use effect, it will be only called when we move out of this component. What we are doing when I'm clicking the link button, I'm moving out to another component. So whenever I want to move out from this component, I will create a use effect with the return function, and this return function is called when I go from this page to another component or another page. Okay, let's try to call this Let's try to call this here in this function. Now here we don't need to use the await because let it take time to do that. We don't need to track it. Why we were using here await? Here we were using await because we want to go ahead with new things. So we want to wait for this part to be done. Then only I will create a new one. But here I'm not in a hurry. If it comes after some time, I don't want to run any more thing after that. So I will remove the await part here. Now what will happen when I unsubscribe it? Let's check this one. So I'm on the master page. Here subscription is open. Now I go to another page and subscription is closed. This closed is called. This closed is called. Because I call this subscription, I call this unsubscribe. Whenever unsubscribe will be called, this part will be called. So now subscription is closed. Now even if I put something, anything here now, it will not be visible here because subscription is closed. So just try to add this use effect in your code and try to understand that whenever we return a function from the use effect, it will be called when the component is unloaded, when it goes to another component. So try to add this line for the code. And this console.log is only to see that this is being called. If you don't put this console, you will not know what's happening when you go from one component to another component. So try to add this use effect in 2 minutes and then I will go further. Is it done? Okay, add link also. Just add this link, import link from react.dom and also add this link so that you can test the condition. Okay, so tell me one thing. If I don't put this, is it good or bad? Okay, tell me one thing. Yeah, fast, fast. Then subscription will not close and it will be a problem. But if I change from link to a tag, then also I will get a problem, or then I will not get a problem. Can anyone tell me if I change from link to a tag and I don't put this one, then it will be a problem or no? Page will refresh, but then it will be a problem or no? Then do we need to close the subscription? It will not create problem, because if page is refreshed, we don't, and we are in the new page, add page, then we don't see the subscription again. On the page refresh of master page only, subscription will be created. But when we refresh it to another page, then subscription is gone. We will not see that subscription again on the add page. It will not create a problem. But generally in React, we never put a tag. So we always have to put this closing part also. Is that clear? Okay, so this master page is done, but there is we have not done the pagination part on it, and we have not done the search filter or search part also on it, which I will do in some part. Maybe tomorrow I will do that one. Okay. Now, since we are in the live query and we need to understand the live query more, I will build a small application in the live query. You don't have to do it now. You can do it afterwards. You can watch the video and you can do it after the class. In 10 minutes, I will finish one small application, 10-15 minutes. I'll do very quickly, and I will ask questions in between. And if you answer immediately, it's okay. Otherwise, I will move forward. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are building one application, a simple application using the live query. So that you will get the idea of it. Okay, so we are building the simple application live query. Let me create the routing first. I will take copy paste also few things from the other one, but so maybe I will name this as to do, as a to do app, for example. I wanted to do something. Okay, I have to create that component. Let's create that component. So now I'll go through quickly on this one. It will be very fast. I will create very fast. So you need to go through recording to do this application. Okay. So first thing, I want to put the add kind of thing, like, where is the add one? Yeah, this add one. But I need only one field. I don't need the description part. So I will only add the add part. So let me grab the add part and put it in the to do part, and I will name it to do. And if I don't change the name, then also it's fine, but for namesake I'm changing it. And I will rename the title to do. I don't need description. And I will create another table called as test2. I'll be creating all with the test name, or test to do. Test to do. I'll be creating this table name, and I need only to do field, no description. I need the user who created it, and right now I give access to everyone. This is fine, and data is submitted, and to do will be empty after I add it. Okay, and I will check the state every time, and here will be to do item, save it to do. I will delete the second description part. Okay, so this is my form part here. Okay, since this is the addition of the form part, I can also put in another component and call it here. So I'll show you that also. Let me first see it's working. Okay, so let's go to do. Okay, I can see add record here, and this is submit button. If I put anything, so it is going away, and we will see the table there. In the dashboard. So I can see one record here, test. Okay. So let's try to add few more record. I have not written anything to display, so I'm just adding the record right now. And these records are here already. Since this is a new table, if we want to do live query, I need to put it in the pass server also. So let's go to the pass server. Let's go to pass server. I need to add in the live query. I'll go to the pass server, and I will add in the live query one more table. Okay. Yeah. So I need to add the more one here. Okay. In the pass server, I will add one more table because I also want to keep this one. So I'll just add one more. One second. Okay, so we just need to add it here, one table here, and we have to restart the pass server. Okay. And this part is the addition part. If I put everything in the to-do part, if we put everything in the to-do part, then the things will become very complicated. So let's create another function. I will move this to another file, but right now I am putting it here only. I will create another component here, and I will return only the addition part here. So this form part, this add part, I will add it here. And I will also put these variables which I need for the add inside this add component, so that this my add component is separate than the to do component. And I will call this add component. I will call this add component here inside the box. Okay, and I'll double check if everything is working fine. So it's working fine. I kept it in another one so that it should be cleaner. Okay, so I can see all the tasks here. Next, I want to show the records. Okay, like in the master, we are showing the record. So let's create another component called as view, and I will create another component view here, and it will return something which we have in the master. So I'll be taking a lot of master code. You have already everything, so you can also copy it from there. So I'll copy this part from the master in the view. One second. Okay, so I will put it in the view, all this code. Okay, so here I will say to do items, and I'll delete this part. I will create the variables. Right now I'm just putting, I don't need edit and delete right now. I just want to show it. I don't want detail page also. I just want to show this part. And it will be to do now in this case because we are using to do. Let's try to add the paper from the material UI and the parse. Okay, parse we already have. Okay, let's copy this state in the to do view part, and then I will create the subscription. Then I will call the use effect with create, update, and delete will be the same. Everything will be same. Only thing I will. So it's almost I'm doing copy paste. Just remember we have already the things. Only I want to show you based on the master how we can create the project very quickly. Okay. Only thing we need to change now is the table name. So when I call this get livequery, I will change the table name. And when I call this get record also, I'll change the table name. And created date descending will be this. And rest everything will remain same. We don't have to do any other change. Let's check this now. Okay, something this input box. Why we are seeing this input box? Okay, after to do. Okay, input text. I don't need this input text. Okay, now when I add record, it will go to the database, and with the live subscription, it will go here in the to do item. Because to do item can be visible, the new items can only be visible if I refresh the page, then only it's visible. But with the live query, whatever I will add in add record, it will appear here automatically without refreshing the page. So for example, I'll say task 1. So you will see task 1 has come here immediately. Though it is coming from the server, it's not local. Task 2, task 3. So add is only adding the items in the database, and the function of the live query is to get the data and display it here. And if I refresh the page, then it is directly coming from the server. It's not coming from the live query. Live query can be displayed only when we are on the page and we are adding it. So here it is coming from live query, and we can see it here. So this is the to do app we build in 5 minutes based on the master and add part. So you can go through it again. You have already the code. We need to arrange it. And I created 2 components, and I called it here in my main component so that it becomes cleaner. In practical world, I will keep this in another file and I will keep add in another file and call it here. But right now, just to show it, I will just create here only, and I'm calling both the components here. So this completes our to-do app, and based on this, you can create any multiple components. So tomorrow we will build something kind of chat kind of application where I can add it and its chat will come here. So just go through this project again, try to do it again. All things are same. See, I haven't changed anything. I kept everything same. Only thing in real world, you have to change the query part. Otherwise, everything will remain same. This query part will change based on your project. Otherwise, things will be same. Okay, that's it for today. Any questions?